Hey, gun people. There's an interesting little video. Somebody posted it on I think like a cop Facebook page. It says Cop Watch Patrol Unit, Brooklyn. This woman's kind of funny. I was kind of thinking she was all right until the end of the video where she started on her. Everything's about color. Has nothing to do with the crime or the bad guy or the good guy. So, give you a little bit. It appears these guys are chasing this guy for a crime. Of course, I'm always suspicious of vehicle or videos that just give the last few seconds where the cops catch him. It doesn't show the part where the cops are, you know, moving into fear, fight, flight, danger, etc. It just shows the emotional response of the cops when they catch the guy. And that's what most videos are done to stir up. So, and I'm not defending these guys. I think these cops are a couple freaking idiots and they're not doing good jobs, but I don't think they're just out there beating up black people like this black woman who's videotaping would have you believe. So, let's see what they do to this guy. Give me your arm. Okay, so I think he said, give me your arm. So the guy's not giving his arm and he's trying to handcuff him. Did the guy need to kick him in the legs? Maybe not. He was trying to take the fight out of him. I think they either tased him to get him on the ground or they definitely chased him because they talk about another guy's back with a vehicle. And then they ask him, where's the gun? So is that authorized to put him face down in the snow and handcuff him? I think he fell in the snow when they tased him. Then they jumped on him and they're trying to handcuff him and he's resisting. So the kicks, it doesn't look good, but hey, it makes the guy stop resisting so you can get him handcuffed. And if they're talking about gun, you don't know if he still has a gun. And this is where I disagree with the cops because their procedures are kind of freaking weak, to say the least. Okay, so I don't know what he said about fucker, threw his hand in the air. He's obviously frustrated and upset. Is it professional? No, but I don't really have a problem with that part. I'm gonna show you the parts I have a problem with.
What did you say? Jesus? You're calling Jesus? You fucker! Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare!
Okay, that is a total. I've seen cops do this, and they are usually the biggest pussy cops out there because the only time they get tough and in somebody's face is when they're handcuffed. So this is an individual issue, not a white and black issue in my book. See, black people, not all black people, I know, but this woman filming this is black, and everything is about color. She doesn't care about the crime. She doesn't care about this guy's danger. She only cares that there's white officers and black officers. She says a black officer showed up and he left. But, so that, I guess that means that black officer is a good officer because he just left.
Good job, man. Good job.
Okay, this guy, another what I call a pussy move. Guy's on the ground, he's face down, he's handcuffed. These guys are working off emotion, and instead of dealing with their emotion the right way, they want to pick on a guy that's handcuffed on the ground. And I don't care if the guy was white or black. I guarantee you these cops would do the same thing. These cops are not thinking, this is a black guy, so I will do this. That's not what people think. The media would have you think that. Black people who want to promote racism would have you think that. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking, I'm pissed off because you either pulled a gun, you shot at me, you made me chase you, you freaking almost got me killed, I hurt myself, I slipped and I bust. This is all just personal vendetta on this guy, and it's unprofessional because they're cops, they're government, and they're using government power and restraints to take advantage of a guy they can't fight back. And that's why I call it a pussy move.
This man is handcuffed and the police is beating him while his hands is cuffed behind him. It's two officers. I don't know, I guess 2, 3 maybe. They were.
And here comes a quota hire. And you'll notice she walks up here calmly. She's not involved in the chase. She really has no reason to get involved. And she has to do what I call a busy search. She doesn't, and all these cops do a busy search in a minute. It's not a systematic good search to make sure the guy is clear of weapons and drugs. It's kind of like we're standing around doing nothing. Oh, I'll search a little here. I'll search a little here. I'll make it look like I'll just handle this guy. I'll talk to him. Absolutely unprofessional and not what I call road dogs, good street cops. A good street cop, after this guy was handcuffed, may walk away and catch his breath a little bit and go, let me calm down. But somebody's going to search this guy. Somebody's going to do a good systematic search from top to bottom and make sure he doesn't have a weapon. These guys lollygag around for 3-4 minutes BSing, and finally they find a gun at the end.
Kicking him and pistol whooping him.
I know. I went around. I thought I'm gonna go around the block, and there's dead ends everywhere.
Sorry guys, I'll call it.
Nobody's searching, everybody's standing around, a lot of time. This is not what I call a highly, rapidly evolving situation to where none of these officers could have searched this guy already. There's no reason this guy hasn't been thoroughly searched yet. And that's why I say these cops are what, and I think the lady says they have ice on their jacket. And I've worked with ICE cops, and they're not really cops. They were just like immigration officers, and then they made them cops. And then when the government grew, they kind of expanded. And so I'm not, most ICE cops that I've met, they're not what I would consider road or street dogs. They're more office guys that every once in a while get to go out and play cop.
They're dabbing each other, talking about good job.
And I think they did just do a knuckle bump saying good job. Now, here's where the quota hire feels like I have to make myself useful. There's two cops there that chased this guy, that handcuffed him. The one cop was banging a guy because he said Jesus, telling him don't freaking dare say that like he's some higher authority or something. And so both these cops have already done what they want to do. Now the female walks over calmly, not involved, not working on emotion, and she decides that she needs to start manhandling this guy, pulling him, and doing a half-ass search and asking him questions. She never does a good search. Nobody does. These guys are Mickey Mouse, what I call Mickey Mouse. I'm not saying they're bad guys. They should be killed and beat up and they're bad cops. I'm saying they are unprofessional. They're inexperienced. They're kind of caught up in the heat of the moment. They don't deal with this a lot. They got excited. They're dealing with their emotions that they don't have to deal with a lot. And they're just trying to keep busy work here while they're sitting this guy on the ground out in the cold.
You got anything on you?
So let's see. The guy runs from the cops. They have to tase him and they beat him. And this quota hire going to come up and say, do you have anything on you? Oh, okay. I guess I'll believe you and I'll do a half-ass search. I'll just go through your pockets a little bit so I can rub all over you and put hands on you when I'm really not looking for anything and I really don't do much.
What do you mean everything's in the car? What do you mean everything? Your what?
Like a lot of women cops, they always want to kind of get into mouthy arguments with suspects. What do you mean? What? She's just, I mean, I see this all the time, and people that don't have it dealt with this aren't going to understand what I'm saying. But cops who work with female officers, they have this power thing to where they want to come there and nag, and they end up provoking or making it worse. When you've got a guy in handcuffs, he's going to jail, look, either ask him a question, read him his rights, do what you need to do, and don't antagonize and do what I call busy work. This girl's just doing like busy. I'm bored. I'm standing in the cold. Let me just mess with this guy because I can. Not that it's effective or it's policy or I'm actually trying to do something productively. Because remember, this guy has a gun on him this whole time and nobody's found it and nobody searched it. And they're going to find it after a while. But, I mean, look at how long these guys deal with this guy before they find a gun. That's what I call clown cops. They're just, oh, man.
Where did you put that? Right in the drive, which was, gun's still in the car.
Notice Quarterhire's nice ponytail. It's all wrapped up there in the back, big and long. Call that a great handle to swing him around if a guy wants to grab something. But, Rick, you can't say that. She's a woman. She's allowed to have long hair. And just because men have hair standards and they have to cut their hair short, women shouldn't have to because they're women and they're special and you're just picking on women. Okay, freaking idiots.
What's your name? Jackson?
So a real cop would have already searched him, pulled out some ID, found his wallet, and got ID and confirmed his ID. But again, these guys are just kind of like standing around, and this is where I get their inexperience. Nobody's like, get this guy up, search him, get him in a car. Why are we sitting around here? Why are we... Now, if they chase him for a while, maybe they don't have a car, maybe they're waiting for a transport unit, maybe they don't want to put him in their car and get their car bloody and snowy. I don't know. But just sitting around here kind of asking him questions that really... Are you going to believe him? I mean, do you have anything on you? No, everything's gone. Everything's in the car. Okay, I believe you. What's your name? I'll believe that. You ran from me. You got a freaking gun on you, and none of us has found it yet.
This guy say his name is Jackson.
No, your ride's coming.
You're real proud of yourself.
You're going to notice her pawing around on him, not finding anything, talking about maybe he's got a pipe, asking him if he's got needles. None of them have gloves on. Nobody's gloved up yet. Again, inexperience. Cops know when you start searching guys like this, you better get some gloves on. I mean, this guy's, I don't know the case, but it probably sounds like there was drugs and guns involved. And Rick, you're just saying that because he's black and you're a racist. Okay. The fact they find a gun on him and a pipe, I guess, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the woman videotaping. She doesn't care that he's a criminal and he shot at the cops and he's got a gun. The only thing she cares about is they were white cops and a poor black man.
Okay, what did you say?
Listen, you gotta search him good.
You got anything I use for pokey stick to stab me?
You got any needles? You got needles?
This is another inexperience. She's dealing with him, asking him, and the other cops are going to start asking him questions too. They're not helping. They're not holding him up. But everybody's just kind of like, again, these are what I call the inexperienced cops, the back office cops, the desk jockeys. You know, they sit around the desk, and when they get out in the field, you can tell. And any street cops knows what I'm talking about. You people who don't work the streets may not understand this, think I'm being critical. But I'm telling you, road dogs get it. These guys are not road dogs. They're not street savvy. They're not conducting business in a systematic manner. They're not doing things as a matter of routine. You get the guy cuffed. You search him. You stand him up. You do a good search. You make sure he doesn't have weapons. You do things in an order, and these guys are kind of like standing around and go, oh, I guess we'll do this now, and maybe we'll do this, and maybe, his uniform pulls up, and then he gets the hell out of there like, I don't want to be involved in these knuckleheads.
Where?
He's got a pipe in the car.
Really?
Yeah, I tried coming down the street, so right the fuck through.
So now they're going to start talking. In the middle of a search, he's got a pipe. They're either going to say, I stopped the search because I didn't know if he had needles, but then they're going to restart the search in a minute. So they get distracted. Now they're going to start talking about the chase. Well, he went this way and he went, still have not searched this guy. All this time, this guy has a gun on him.
Wow, it's a big knot on his head now.
Standing around talking, guy's leaning over, guy still has a gun. They don't know it. I know it because I watched the video. But I'm just telling you, that's what lack of consistency. That's what lack of priorities and cops that don't work the streets. This is how cops get killed and hurt and shot because, another cop show up here. That's why I can't tell you how many times I walked up on a scene, I'll see a guy on the sidewalk handcuffed, and I'm like, has he been searched? No. And the cop's searching his car, and there's 2 or 3 guys on the street. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're digging in a car with your back to 3 guys that haven't been searched, and I go over there and search them. One of them has a gun. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You let these guys... Well, I handcuffed them. Oh, okay. A guy in handcuffed has never grabbed a gun and shot anybody. Are you kidding me? She's still just kind of pawing around. She has no systematic whatsoever. She's going from right pocket to left pocket to upper to lower. She is... It's just... It's kind of like... It's a busy search. I really don't have nothing else to do in between my conversation and in between us BSing and asking him questions. I'll just check a little here and I'll check a little there and we'll shake them all around and do the hokey pokey.
Get up, man.
So the guy's been beat up. He's been running. He's tired. He's probably on the influence. And they're going to start treating him like, stand up, and grab him. Now, why don't you lean him on a car and search him? Why don't you get him against something and do a decent search? Lay him back down and do a decent search. Search the back while he's laying on the ground, and then roll him over and search the front. I mean, there's just no systematic, common sense search to where they're not going to miss nothing. Remember, all this lollygagging, the guy still got a gun.
No needles? Like a Pope.
Let's say you just chased me and beat me and kicked me, and then you started yelling at me because I said Jesus, and now I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that I got an AIDS-infected needle in my pocket. Oh, yeah, I'll believe you. Yeah, these cops are great.
She said that was a justified ass whooping.
Okay, her saying that, if he shot at him, if they saw a gun, if he grabbed a gun, I mean, I don't know if he shot at him or not. Like I said, there's no background, but I'm just dealing with what I see here, and then when they find a gun at the end, I'm like, are you kidding me? It took you that freaking long to find a gun? Notice her search. She searched that front pocket at least 6 times now. Same pocket. Nobody searched the legs. Two people searching, never a good idea anyway. You don't know what he's missed. You don't know what she's missed. If I search somebody, I want to know I searched everything. I can go systematic. You get into 2 people searching, and then you get this one searching this half, and this one searching this half, and they don't overlap, or this one overlaps here, and they don't overlap here, and you miss items. This is poor procedure. This is not a good way to search. Again, everything screams that these guys are inexperienced and not what I call good experienced cops, and they're not. That's why they were emotional and kicking and screaming and doing stupid stuff. I told a story where I had a lieutenant who thought he was Mr. Badass, and he wouldn't go up to a guy, and we ended up arresting this guy on the courthouse steps, and as soon as we got him in handcuffs, he was a big dude. He thought he was going to fight. He stayed back. As soon as we got him in handcuffs, he comes up to him, starts yelling in the face, and grabbed him by the shirt. Oh, you're going to jail now. And I just looked at him like, dude, don't come up to my arrestee and start talking shit. You want to arrest him, you arrest him and talk shit. And he got his feelings hurt, and he complained that, I was being an ass, but I just hate pussy cops.
Yeah.
I think so.
All these cops, all this time. Remember, suspect still has a gun in his ankle. Not found yet.
Live scan later.
So after all this talking, who thinks these guys remember where they searched and where they didn't? Who thinks these cops know exactly what they searched and what they haven't? That you can't. That's why you don't stop and you don't interrupt searches. That's why you don't do anything when you're searching a guy. And if you get interrupted searching, you start over and you search the entire body. This is basic rookie maneuvers here. If I saw a cop stopping and starting to search, I would tell him, if he was a rookie, I mean, if he was a regular cop, I'd be like, that's your dumbass fault. I'm not going to. But if I was an FTO and say, dude, you don't start talking on the radio, going to your car, getting gloves in the middle of a search. You start a search and you finish a search. You do a systematic search. You don't miss an area. You overlap and you make damn sure you complete a full, thorough search when you do it. And these cops are talking and carrying on, and I don't remember who searched, and she searched this pocket. Well, I thought you searched this pocket. Well, you were searching the back, so I didn't search the back. But I thought you had this. And meanwhile, somebody got shot and is killed. Probably not one of these two idiots, and they're sitting around trying to blame the other one for missing a gun.
My
partner's out with 300.
Thanks, man.
Radio 794. Where's that from Iraq?
Just spitting on me, drooling on me.
I don't want you spitting on me or drooling on me. That's your concern? Right over here, I think he finds a gun. Notice her leg search took a lot less time than his leg search. Hell, the guy could probably have another gun over here. She's looking around now. She's distracted, thinking about what, how's she going to fix her makeup when she's done.
Stand up, man. Stand up straight. Stand up straight.
You notice he keeps bending over and she's saying stand up straight? I think this is a distraction move on his part. He's subconsciously trying to keep distance from this gun from this officer and distract him from searching. It's taken this guy a long time, not to mention this is a poor search. Bend over in front of the guy. I don't know where this guy's gun is. I would bet his gun is on his right side. So if this guy is a good con and he knows, he can spin and grab this guy's gun. But this is just, you don't bend down in front of the suspect right in front of his knee so the suspect can knee you in the face. He can bend over and bite you in the back of your neck. I mean, this is just a bad search procedure. Everything about these guys searching, it just screams inexperience and, unprofessional.
I know you don't know.
Wow, really?
Oh, there's the pistol right there. Shut up.
Wow, there's a... Holy cow. Look, now she's looking. Now the other guy's like, shut up. Well, you got it? Wow, he had a pistol this whole time. Yeah, you're all freaking idiots because he had a pistol this whole time.
Good.
They just found a pistol on this guy.
Look at it, see that shot.
Notice the narrator is absolutely not concerned that this guy was armed and running from the cops. The only thing that she talks about here in the end is how the white cops kicked the poor black man. It's all about color.
They just
with
took the
black
clip
people.
out. I guess he shot at him or something. I don't know.
You guys gonna take him for us? Just on 94.
See her yelling at the... So you guys going to take him for us? These cops can't even transport their own person. They're running around chasing and beating and yelling. Again, I've dealt with cops like this. It's very irritating for people who are out there on the road. You just don't want to get involved because you're like, I don't want to work. I don't want to take your arrestee. There's a thing in cop work that calls you catch them, you clean them. Don't be out there stirring up work for other cops. If you start an incident, then you do it. Now, sometimes, if I chase somebody 4 miles, I don't want to walk them back 4 miles to my freaking car, so I need a unit to transport him. But in this case, oh man, these guys are just...
But I can take it back over to your casino over there. We got a meeting with the ATF.
Yeah, I was recording this because I seen the guy fall. And so I recorded this.
Notice the guy fell. He wasn't running from the cops after shooting at him. The guy just fell. Oh,
When I seen the guy start to kick him, now I'm back inside. There has been like 3 officers come. One black officer, and he is now gone.
all about color. Nothing to do with. See, my big problem here is government abuse and the cops doing things they shouldn't be doing. Not that they're white cops or black cops. It's that government and government power is abusing their power and kicking a guy that's handcuffed. That's my problem. That's not what this woman sees. She sees a poor black victim who has a gun and dope and who shot at the cops has the poor black guy that these 2 white cops are beating. It's all about color. It's just ridiculous.
The 2 plainclothes officers, white male officers, was kicking this guy while he was down and handcuffed. And he was also pistol whipped by the guy in the tan pants with the shades on. I guess these are ICE detectives. That's what I see on his shirt. So I know it's drugs involved. I heard that much. But they did find the gun, pistol. What kind, I don't know. It had a brown handle. So it wasn't a 9.
Really? 9s can't come with brown handles? This woman's an expert in guns. She's an expert in drugs and police procedure because 9mm don't come with brown handles. What the?
More like a 38 and everything. So now they got a car right here at this house. They right in front of my house. So of course I'm looking out my window now. I got out the door. I got cold, so they had the guy in the snow and they was beating him.
Poor guy. She forgot the drugs part and the gun part. They just had the poor guy in the snow beating him. No reason. He didn't do nothing.
And then when the taller guy that found the gun, when he got there, he started kicking him.
He did kick him. And he was resisting and he was saying, give him my arm. And I wasn't too upset with that. Like I said, I was more upset with the other part. Anyway, she ends it here just bashing white cops and it's all the white people's fault and the poor black guy didn't do anything. But anyway, poor police procedure. Again, I don't think this is about color. This is about government power and abuse, unaccountability for government, cops doing things and getting away with it. So therefore, they think it's routine and they think it's okay. This is about quota hiring, lowering the standards. When you lower the standards and you start quota hiring, you can't fire quota hires because you're hired for a quota. And if you fire them, then you're going to be called a racist name or a sexist name or a homophobic name. And so you can't enforce standards. Therefore, the standard lowers. And then you get this unprofessional, abuse of power. And then the liberals claim we need more cops in order to stop this, and we need to take your guns, because that's the government mantra. All right, we'll end that there.